This is Pastor Unpacked. Real talk, real faith, real growth. Let's break down life with Jesus. Come on, church, let's unpack it.
Does faith show up at work where faith meets the marketplace? Hello, I'm Pastor Bob McCabe from Wadsworth Church of Nazarene, and today I'm with Keith Ramser, and we're talking about work and what faith looks like at work. So Keith, if you can, tell us what you do for a living, and we'll go from there.
I am a residential electrician.
And you have your own business?
Yes, sir.
Right. How long have you had your business?
Since 1985.
Old timer. That's a long time.
That is.
Man, and a lot of your kids, a couple of your boys work under you?
Yeah, two of my youngest sons are in the business with me now, and most of my sons worked for me at one time or another.
Yeah, that's good. So how's your faith affected your business?
Well, I believe that the Lord's prospered my business over the years, and I don't necessarily know if it's because of any faith on my part, but I think He just honors hard work and quality work and integrity.
Yeah, because you got the business of the world, and then you got business of the kingdom.
Yeah.
And mindset. What our mindset is. Our mindset, it's my business. Or is a mindset, this is the business the Lord's given me. Because that dictates what He's allowed to do in your business.
Mm-hmm.
It's, Lord, I'm letting you in to help me, or I'll meet you at the house at 5 o'clock. That's what we genuinely, business owners or people who just have a job, are you going to take your faith to work, or you clock it out with faith and then back in when you get home? I've been bivocational most of my ministry, and so I've witnessed Christianity and Christians in the workforce, and what it looks like if it's really happening from Sunday to Monday, and sometimes it's always going to be a mixed bag. I've seen great things. I've seen shady things. Just meaning people saying one thing and doing another, character-wise. But I've seen more good than frustration, which is good. So I know it's supposed to be done, and the Lord honors what you just said. He honors. If you work hard, He honors it. He says in 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15, work hard so you can present yourself to God and receive His approval. Be a good worker, one who does not need to be ashamed and who correctly explains the word of truth. So your work ethic becomes a visual of the word. So He believes in. Now the work may not be physical, it could be mental work, but work is work. And so what do you think your business would look like without the Lord?
I know what my life looked like without the Lord.
Well, what did that look like?
It was total selfishness. Total. using other people. Not pretty stuff.
So imagine if the Lord didn't get a hold of you. Think about how He's flipped it. How faith flipped all that to now you're generous and loving and opposite of that, right? That shows the born again, right? That shows the difference. And so you may not, because it's supposed to be not forcing faith into your work. It should be natural because you're coming a business owner as a Christian, right? And so you're coming in as the view naturally is, Lord, what help me? As a pastor, I just try to raise that awareness in people. Like, man, like a lady I've been praying for in the drive-through prayer. She was praying for a job, and I got her phone number, so I've been praying with her all year about a job. And a couple of times she thought she was getting one, and it didn't work out. And so I kept praying, and then right after Christmas, she got a job. And so my prayers changed for her because she's got the job. And so I started getting responses back from her about her frustration at the job she's got and how she must be dealing with customers somehow. And so people complaining to her, being mean and stuff. And I was just like, well, maybe that's where the Lord wants you to be a light to these people that are struggling or not in a good place. We got to go into the darkness for people to see the light. And so I go from praying for her to get a job, now it's praying for her, for God to use her in the job.
Right.
Pray for her to see that this is a place of ministry. It's not just a job. No job is just a job for a believer. And so that's why I try to raise awareness. Like, your ministry is where the people around you. We got a couple of dentists in our church, and young dentists, and I could tell it's getting to them because they're more intentional with their clients of just trying to listen to the Lord, of when to share something. And so it's pretty cool to hear them so they're asking me for advice about how do I handle this. And like one of them had a miracle happen in their lives, and he wants to share that miracle. And he was asking me how to do that because it would lead to at the very end, the miracle would come up, And I just told him, I said, forget all this beginning stuff, just
share the miracle.
Just hit them with it, because people say how you doing? How's your family doing? How you doing? How's your family doing? Great. A miracle's happened. Here's what happened. Bam! Right? Just give it to them. Just let them hear the good news right off the bat. Then you can backtrack. And he was like, oh, yeah, I never thought about that. Because he wanted more time to share about the miracle, but it seemed like the conversation, if he's a dentist, he's dealing with, so you ain't got a long window. So it's exciting for me to help you and others find a way to share their faith in their job, and I think that's what I offer people. I can't offer much more than that, but just, all right, try this, do this, because that's what I try to do for the church. Let's try this, let's try that, and but everywhere I've worked, I've been a Christian first. I don't come in saying, hey, I'm Pastor Bob. I'm a pastor. I'm here because I got to work for my church. I don't come in greeting people that way. I'm just like, hey, I'm Bob. Train me what I got to do. And so I just let it happen through conversation. I don't put up, because as soon as I say pastor, especially at the beginning, if we don't have a relationship, everything changes instantly. I get the best behavior, And And I don't understand it, but I'm a Christian first. God saved me before he called me.
Mm-hmm.
And so everywhere I've worked, I've tried to be a Christian. And then when it comes up, yeah, I'm a pastor, and I'm here for you, you know. And but sometimes the conversation never comes up. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I was working at Golf Tech, and I taught a guy my last year and a half there. We played golf together on the side, taught him. Talked about everything, but we never talked about church, never talked about faith. For some reason, I never brought up me being a pastor. I don't know why. I don't know if I thought he knew already. I don't know. We just never, like I said, I just let it naturally come up. Well, I'm getting ready to leave. I'm getting ready to come to Kentucky to take a church. And so we go to play golf, and I got to tell him that I'm getting ready to leave. And we're on the golf course, and I see him, and I said, I'm getting ready to leave Golf Tech. And he says, how come? So I'm taking a church in Kentucky. And he was like, he was driving the car, hits the brakes on the car. He says, what? I said, yeah, I'm taking a church in Kentucky. And he said, you're a pastor? I said, yeah. He's like, you never told me. I said, what? I've not told you. And he's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. You've never told me this, you know, because he's a believer. He goes to church and all that stuff. And but he was just shocked. I mean, he was happy for me, but he's just like, wow, I did not know. But I'm just so intentional about just being a Christian, and that's why I never. Because I know we had to talk about faith, so I just never said my. Mm-hmm. It just never came up, not out of hiding it. It just never. Because I believe in Christianity. You know, I'm a Christian first. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I want people to see him in me, not the title. And when the title comes, is when it's a cool thing that happens. But when the title comes, I become their pastor. And a cool thing happened with him a month ago when we had the first snowstorm. And when I made the video outside in the snow, I was sending it to everybody. And so when I sent everybody to church, and I was sending it to people. Because I don't delete any of my text messages. So you can go back 15 years. I can scroll back and see who I talked to. So I'll send it to them. I talked to them. I'll send it to him. And I saw his name. Oh, yeah, I'll send it to him. Sent some other people. And he texted me a couple hours later. And he said, Bob, he said, man, I needed that. He said, I just had a family member die the night before. And he said, I needed to hear that. I know she's in a good place, but that reminded me that she's okay. She's been covered by the snow. She's white as snow. She's forgiven. And then he tells me that. Then he puts me in a group text with his family and adds the video for all the family that's dealing with this loss, watches this video, and they put me in the group text. Mm-hmm. I was like, this is crazy. But it's cool to see how, but it's honestly what happened. I became their pastor, so I was always pastoring people at work. Like some came to my churches where I pastored. Most of them didn't, but they knew I would meet them right where they were at and be there right there. And so it was always interesting, that dynamic. And so that's why I'm so driving home, invite people into your life. Because you're called to be a pastor to your employees. You're called to be a minister to them because the truth's in you. And because ultimately we're all called to be a pastor. We're all called to shepherd people. But it's in the workforce, being that leader and that spiritual authority in their lives, because the people you're around, they're open to it because they're with you all the time. And if you're consistent, they're open to what you say. And so guys that I would struggle with at work, I'm like, you're not consistent. These people are saying this stuff about you because you're not consistent. You know what I mean? Like, if you be consistent, they're just telling you right. Like, and I'm telling you the same thing. You're not consistent. When I went to Golf Tech, I went to Golf Tech for lessons. But I went into Golf Tech. The Golf Tech was in a Golfsmith building. So I went in looking for a shaft. The Golf Tech was in the back. And Golf Tech guys would come over and talk to guys shopping to try to convince them to get lessons. And Scott come over and talked to me. Well, we started going down this rabbit hole. And here we missed each other 25 years ago. Not 25 years ago, like 10 at that time, 10 or 12 years ago in college. He hung out with everybody that was a year older than me at John Wesley College. He didn't go there, but he hung out with them. Well, they all graduated when I got there, so he stopped coming around. So I never seen him. And throughout the years, I heard about this guy, Scott, playing golf, and they always wanted to get him to come play in the scrambles, but they never get him, so I never seen him. Didn't know his last name, just heard Scott every once in a while. And so we're talking like, man, we just missed each other back then, and blah, blah, blah. And so we had mutual friends and talking, and he started telling me about how he got hurt in the church, what happened, and he used to be a worship leader, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there talking to him, and I just, in my spirit, the Lord said, I want you to take lessons with him to become his friend. And he's like, I don't want you to ever invite him to your church. I don't want you to ever invite him to lead worship at your church. He needs a friend, and he needs to see no conditions on you towards him. And I was like, no problem. And that's what I did. Took lessons for a year, became his friend. A year later, he offers me a job to teach at Golf Tech, and never taught before. He taught me. He knew I could sell. He knew I knew how to talk. You can sell. I'll teach you how to hit the golf ball. I mean, how to teach people to hit the golf ball. And so now I'm working with him. And still the same rule. Be his friend. Pastor him here. Don't invite him to your church. So that's what I did. And so, man, we would have about every 6 months, we'd have a hard conversation because he would not be happy with his life. And so I'm like, well, here's the problem. Boom, 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 boom. Just let him have it. And then, boom, we move on. But he would see me, because basically every I had 200 clients at the end of the day at Golf Tech. I pastored all of them. You know, even they didn't know it. You know, I was in their life, asking about their family, you know, just doing all these things. And so Scott saw my consistency with everybody. That how I treated him is how I treated everybody. And that consistency got him. He saw the difference between me and him, because he was a Christian, but he was a hurt. He was a hurt Christian. He was letting that hurt consume him. And so, and I was there for him. He got sick one time. He was allergic to a supplement pill, and it made him sick, like really sick. Like I went and stayed with him one night to watch over him because he was so sick. And he was like, man, he said, I called a bunch of people to come help me. You're the only one that ever said, come help. And I was like, man, well, I mean, I'm going to come, you know. And, but he was still like, he still wasn't all in. And so I'm with him 2 years, and then I'm leaving to go to Kentucky. And I leave, and the whole time the fun part with him was because of his hurt, he would always challenge me on everything. Like if I thought something was good, he'd find out the bad in it, the negative. But it pushed me. Like it made me think, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. I need to make that better, you know. Like he was always finding a reason why I was silly or stupid or, you know, like, but he was just ribbing me. You know, he was doing all like, you know, but he liked it. Like he lived to find the wrong in me trying to show faith. So he just beat me up. And I leave, go to Kentucky, and I don't know, something happened 6 months, a year later, where the Lord just got a hold of him. Just radically got a hold of him. And when the Lord radically got a hold of him, he understood me for the first time. It was like, I get it. I get what you were doing. And so he's calling me, apologizing, and now he's asking me questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? I'm sitting there like, who is this guy? This guy's completely different, and he's that way today. He's that consistent, just consistency in his life, and so it's radically changed his family. Everything ever he's been into, it's radically changed because now he's asking for faith to be in his environment, and so now when I send him ideas or send him stuff today, I'm looking for the negative, and he won't give it to me. I'm like, man, it's different now with him. Because I used to like that, where he would find the faults in it and made me better. Now he's like, oh no, it's good, man, go. I'm like, what? This ain't the same Scott. But it come from me being a friend.
Yeah.
Me being a Christian friend and not saying, hey, Scott, come to my church, man. I need to worship, because I didn't have no music and needed help. I said, nope. And guess what he's in now? He's in church now, playing music again. So it come full circle. And if I would have become his friend, he would not be there. I don't think he would be there in his life today, because he needed to see a Christian be consistent. So how many people in our lives that we work with just need to see somebody be consistent in their faith in the work environment, and realize that faith and work go together. He says, work hard, and that explains the word of truth. And it doesn't mean that you can't make mistakes. You can't get angry. You can't just say you can't get angry. It says, be angry and do not sin, right? Can you do these things even in your faults? Say I'm sorry, right? Right. That's being consistent. Because that's how the church grows, is if we take our faith to work. Because just getting people to realize we see our coworkers more than we do our family.
Right.
Your situation is different because you got your boys with you. But if you're working in a factory, whatever, 40, 50 hours a week, you're with these people. These people know you better than your family, because you go home you're with your family 4 hours, and you're going to bed. 12 versus 4, right? And that's why, I grew up. That's how I grew up understanding the power of family, was because my dad was a coal miner. He worked with all these coal miners, and the coal miners did everything together. Back then, because Dad worked night shift, and so he had his night, they were all buddies, right? They all go hunting together. They would build each other's houses. They didn't hire contractors. They all come over and built the house. That's how they learned to be a contractor. My dad and Roger, all them guys are now contractors, because 40 years ago, we're building this on our own. We're going to figure it out. And so just understanding the power of your community, and so I feel like that's my life mission, is to get people to take, yes, your faith's got to be part of your work. It's got to be. Because when you die, who's coming to your funeral? Coworkers. Anytime I go to a funeral back home, I'm giving hugs and talking to people. I used to work with him. He was a good guy. Blah, blah, blah. I used to work with him. There's family there, but I'm just saying, right, there's another family coming.
Right.
All these coworkers. And that's a powerful statement.
Yeah. A huge opportunity.
Yeah. And because I struggle with people who say, I don't got nobody to witness to. You're kidding me, right? But it's just, Lord, open our eyes to our surroundings. And sometimes it's not our words, but it's our actions and because people watch, we always, no matter what, we're watching each other, and we're getting to read off of somebody, right? And what are they reading? Are they reading the Lord, or they say, oh, that's Keith? So does that make you more excited about your business? From an outsider in, God's all in it. I mean, He's blessing your business like crazy, and He's blessed because your faith's there for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing you said about just being a friend is kind of new to me. It seems like, I want to be friendly, but being a true friend is takes a little more effort than just being friendly.
Yeah.
And not requiring something from those we're befriending. Do stuff for our workers all the time, or people in the field all the time.
And the backstory of Scott was, I needed a friend with no conditions. And so today, he's my only friend that doesn't put me on a pedestal. We're equal, and that keeps me going. He doesn't call me Pastor Bob; he calls me Bob. And so I'm thankful for that. So take your faith to work, Pastor Unpacked.
This is Pastor Unpacked. Real talk, real faith, real growth. Let's break down life with Jesus. Come on, church, let's unpack it.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.